Los Angeles is a massive city surrounded by iconic areas like Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Malibu, and many more. And we've explored them all, but one area we haven't shown you yet is Westlake Village. Well, that changes today. This area offers something completely different, and we're touring this newly constructed modern estate that is situated on a promontory with jaw-dropping views in every direction, and it takes full advantage of its setting. Our goal with this tour is simple: bring you closer to the experience and show you what's it's like to be here. So let's get started. This entire setting is defined by Hidden Valley, a region that seamlessly connects multiple cities while preserving its own secluded charm. With rolling peaks, lush valleys, and unmatched privacy, it's a secluded retreat just moments from the Pacific Ocean. And it all begins at the gates of White Stallion Ranch, the gated community that this home is located in. Alright everyone, we're gonna start this tour a little bit different. First off, we have Armand behind the camera.
Hello everyone.
Second, we're actually starting from the entry of this gated community and working our way all the way up to the home. Also, we're driving this beautiful Ferrari 296 GTS thanks to Ferrari Westlake. They provided us this amazing car to drive around the neighborhood, which is such an incredible area. White Stallion Ranch is a 10-home gated community. Each one of these properties are situated on 20 acres, so everybody gets a lot of land, a lot of privacy, and that's why this area was sought out by celebrity icons like Britney Spears, Jamie Foxx, and Ellen DeGeneres. But even without that resume, when you come out to see these homes and take in the setting, the allure speaks for itself. There's tranquility and inspiration to be found here. Now, the home that we're going to be touring is situated on the highest lot in the development, so it gets amazing views all around. And in fact, we're at the entry right now, so I'm going to put in the code and go up to the home. Now, this property has this long private road that takes you up all the way to the peak where the property is situated. And to our left, we have this beautiful man-made lake. And let me tell you, driving up to this property is an experience. Given that the property is 20 acres, this drive takes you a minute or two to get up all the way to the home. And now that we're coming up on elevation, we start seeing the house to our left and the Santa Monica mountain range to our right. And there we go. Now we just hit the cobblestone driveway that leads us to the Motorcourt. And in fact, why don't I pull up the Motorcourt so we can tour the house? Welcome to the Quincy, everyone. This stunning estate. So far, we've shown you this gorgeous gated community, the arrival experience, and I have to say, once we come up to this elevation, the views are absolutely breathtaking. From the Hidden Valley all the way to the Pacific Ocean, you see it all. Now, this Motorcourt is also very spacious. I love the cobblestone here, and to my left, we have a paddle court, and behind that, you can see this decomposed granite walkway that surrounds the entire property, so you can utilize all these unique moments, these view corridors, and just enjoy them. Now, let's talk about the house itself. To my right, you can see the attached 4-car garage that connects to your laundry room, and there's also detached 4-car garage that is very spacious. That way you can store beautiful cars like this Ferrari, or if you're throwing a big event, you want to accommodate a lot of people, you can certainly do that with this garage and this massive Motorcourt. Now, the house itself is little under 15,000 square feet, newly constructed. You have walls of glass, sliding glass doors throughout, and since it's a single story, it takes advantage of the outdoors extremely well. Also on the exterior, they use stucco, metal trim around the roof lines, and limestone that I'll also point out. And in fact, speaking of limestone, this limestone walkway takes you all the way to the front door, and you're basically going over this massive water feature. Now, we're used to seeing water features on our channel, but this one almost feels like a full-size pool. I love that it's deep and it has this dark finish, making it look like a black mirror, and you can also see the water features on the other side. It sets that tranquil tone before you enter the property. And look at the glass enclosure here, bringing so much natural light to the great room. And in fact, let's go inside. As soon as you walk into the great room, the first thing you see is this breathtaking view all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And beyond that, we get great natural light coming in. Motorized sliding glass doors open up this space to the outdoors, and we have the seating, dining, and the kitchen area here. But before I talk about these spaces, why don't we get the specs out of the way? We have 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, 14,839 square feet of interior space, situated on 20.75 acres and on the market for $30 million. I want to give big thanks to the listing agents, Nicki Laporta and Karen Crystal, for making this tour possible. And as always, you can find more information about this stunning property in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. And with that, I want to quickly turn everybody this way so we can talk about this formal seating area. We have this sectional couch, 2 chairs, oversized coffee table, and even more importantly, you can still enjoy the views. And by the way, the space is so voluminous with 20-foot ceilings, and I just love that. It gets great natural light as well. Now, on the other side, we have the fireplace to cozy up the space. But beyond that, I actually want to talk about this particular wall. If you look at the house on the exterior, you'll see these 2 walls cutting through the entire property. And these walls are wrapped with Sonoma limestone, which has this beautiful natural texture, and it also has this nice warm beige color. And every time these walls touch any of the interior spaces, they utilize that opportunity to create beautiful backdrops like this. And in this case, beyond the fireplace, we also have this wall that sits a little bit proud with mood lighting on the back, which highlights the texture of the stone a little bit more. And then down below, we have the gas fireplace with a marble hearth. And on the inside, they use lava rock and reeded stone detail to create additional dimension. And this reeded texture is repeated throughout the property as well, so I'll point that out. And with that, we're done with the living room. Now, why don't we go to the other side? Like I mentioned earlier, motorized sliding glass doors open up to the outdoors, and in the center, we have the dining area. Solid wood table, seating for 8, and even more importantly, I like that from this room, you can interact with the kitchen and the living room. And speaking of the kitchen, why don't we cover some of the details there? The first thing I recognize with this kitchen is the marble work, how it's book matched on the back. The back section is also recessed into the wall, which creates this portal effect, and you have oak cabinetry, this oversized island that is wrapped and fabricated with marble, and I really like the dimensions, the mood lighting, and the fact that you have your built-in bar here with bar stools, giving you a chance to dine within your kitchen and interact with the space. And Arman, why don't you meet me on the other side so we can talk about the cabinetry and some of the details here. First off, within the oak cabinetry, there's this beautiful brushed nickel reveal detail, and we're gonna see that throughout the home. Then of course, the stone with this rich vein structure that runs up all the way to the ceiling. And over here, we have the vent wrapped with the cabinetry, and it also has the reeded detail. Again, I'm gonna point it out throughout. Your Miele gas stove, and that's pretty much it for this section. Now going to the other side, we have an oversized sink, but also they have dishwasher drawers. Now this is an interesting choice because a lot of times we see full-size dishwashers that are paneled, but these are a little bit more practical, easier to load as well because you don't need to bend down to fill up your dishes as well. And here they have another one. And going this way, we have the wall cabinetry, your paneled freezer, and your paneled fridge here. And not to change the subject, I actually forgot to mention another detail over there. We have pendant lights around the built-in vent, which is something we don't see often. And with that, we're done with the kitchen. To my left, we have the chef's kitchen. A home this size, given the bedroom count, the square footage, and the amount of entertainment spaces that we have, definitely calls for a chef's kitchen. And this one is great with a ton of cabinetry, and we also have natural light coming in thanks to the skylight. Now, I want to focus on some of the details here. Obviously, we have a lot of base cabinetry, uppers that run all the way to the ceiling, open shelving with LED lighting, and we also have another oversized sink here. Now, I like these sinks because you can position 2 faucets and it just brings ton of utility. And when you think about throwing big events, having dinners here, having a sink like this certainly comes in handy. And of course, we have the dishwasher here. Now to my left, we have a Miele gas stove. Vent is also rapid cabinetry to go with that minimalist aesthetic. And then to my right, we have the paneled fridge, freezer, and a Miele microwave. Now leaving the chef's kitchen, I want to take everybody to the main hallway. Now, it does not seem like a hallway. In fact, we have a wall here and a recessed in painting. But if you come over to this side and hit this button 3 times, look what happens. It pockets into the wall. It's a motorized door. It's a very clever design element, and it takes you to the main hallway where we have the primary bedroom, guest suites, and a common seating area for all these bedrooms. And we're gonna tour that space later, but for now, I want to continue our tour with the formal dining room. Another beautiful space that is flooded with natural light. We have the table in the center, comfortable seating, light fixture, and we also have this tongue and groove hemlock ceiling that runs all the way to the exterior. It's a very durable wood, so you can use it both on the interior and on the exterior, and it just creates a more seamless effect running all the way to the outside. Now, another detail I want to point out here is the fact that you can see the reflection of the water from the water feature on the ceiling. It's honestly kind of mesmerizing to look at. Now, another cool fact about this formal dining room is the fact that it features a wine cellar that can hold up to 540 bottles. And another cool fact about this space is the fact that this is where we have the second wall that cuts through the property, hence the limestone design on the back. And these are hot rolled steel plates with these metal rods soldered in on the back to create the shelves for your wine bottles. And we also have mood lighting on the back. This is a very practical, cool design element that I really like. And also this metal over time will patina nicely. And then you have the natural stone texture. It's a very clever design. And of course, when you're done, you simply close the door. Now, the other aspect of this formal dining room that I personally really love, that it faces the front of the home, so you can capitalize on these views, and it also opens up to the water feature. In fact, I'm gonna open up the sliding glass door here, and just like I mentioned on the exterior, the fact that this feature pool is deep just gives so much more meaning and depth to the pool and to this space. And we were joking about this earlier. Can you imagine having your meal here and just coming down to this edge and sit down here, enjoy listening to the water, the sound, the breeze, and these views? It's a cool experience, and I like that they capitalize the front of the home with this formal dining room. Now, another thing I want to point out, if you look across, you will see another glass enclosed section, and that's the other wing of the house where we had the offices. Let's go see it. Given the big footprint of this house, they utilize each one of the wings for different purposes. And here we have 2 offices. Let me show you the very first one. We have white plank oak hardwood floors. Again, I love the fact that the house gets such good natural light. We have the desk in the center, and this section is also facing the water feature and the front of the home, where you can get the views of Hidden Valley straight from your office. We also have high ceilings here, a cozy seating area, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna keep pointing out this limestone wall throughout the entire tour. Now, let's get outside for a second, because this wing features additional 2 more rooms. The first one is designed in a way to be the secondary office for the property. And the last room is designed to be the mace quarters. That's why it has its own bathroom. And to accommodate these two offices, the first one being the one that we just toured, and the second one is right here, there's also a full bathroom here with a walk-in shower. That way you can either use it as an office or as additional guest suites. Now, jumping back to the great room, we're gonna tour the entertainment wing. At this point, I'm sure you're picking up on the theme. Every single corner or wing of this house is designed for a specific purpose. And this being the entertainment, we got a few really cool rooms to see. The first space I wanna focus on is the seating area. You have your couches, really cool coffee tables, and every time we walk into any kind of a seating area or living room, I like to point out the coffee tables. It always gives me a chance to understand the aesthetic that the homeowners or the developers are going for. Now, beyond that, we have motorized sliding glass doors opening up to the outdoors, and this is another theme with this house. Given that it's a single story, it is really easy to walk around, and on top of that, it provides an opportunity for almost every single room to open up to the outdoors. And now we're on the other side of the very first limestone wall that we showed you. This is the other side, and in here, it creates a beautiful backdrop for this frameless 100-inch TV. We have the built-ins here again with the reveal, and of course, these amazing views. Now, why don't we go to the other side so we can talk about the bar. This bar is designed like a restaurant bar. I think it's something to do with the ceiling mount metal rack system and where you have all your spirits. But also, I really like the Ocean Reef vein cut travertine here. Now, Arman, let's get a close up, because not only this is travertine, it is also filled. Because when you're using travertine on bar tops, countertops, surfaces where you're gonna have water or possibly liquids, it's nice to fill it. That way, if it gets dirty, it is really easy to clean. But when you're using travertine on the walls or as a backdrop, I personally would recommend to leave it unfilled so you can benefit from its natural texture and depth, and it just looks like a piece of earth is in your house, in a space that you can enjoy every day. Now, let's go into the bar. Same oak cabinetry is also here, and your typical appliances, wine fridges, ice maker, your sink, and you also have your bar stools. It's a cool area to entertain. And to my right, we have a massive picture window where you can see the tips of the Santa Monica Mountain Range. But even more importantly, with a push of a button, you can lower it. There's actually a drop-down screen here, a 130-inch screen. That way, you can watch something here while sitting on the bar stools. I thought this was a cool, clever touch. Now, since it's the entertainment room, we also have a little chess set, and I really like these chairs with the suede backs. It's a nice two-tone contrast. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the gym. Rubberized floors, good space, sliding glass doors open up to the outdoors. There's also a yoga deck here, cross breeze coming in. You can definitely fill up the space, really enjoy it. But I'm distracted by this rowing machine because I have to come clean. I see this rowing machine a lot throughout the homes that we tour, and I always wondered if they designed them this way to make you feel like you're rowing through water, or they just wanted to make it environmentally friendly so you don't have to use any electricity. So they designed with this contraption. And funny enough, it makes me feel like you're hand cranking and washing your own clothes in a bowl. And maybe that's a stupid comment, but please let me know in the comments below why they're designed this way. They do look cool. They look very organic with this wood frame. But yeah, we see this rowing machine a lot in the homes we tour. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have the spa. This is a very cool space. Of course, we have the vanity here, natural stone wall, casement window above. You always need good ventilation for spaces like this. And of course, the walk-in shower with the steam feature. I always look for the screen or the steam outlets to know whether there's a steam shower in there or not. But this is what I want to talk about. Cold plunge. We have vertical tongue and groove wood planks interlocking each other, and then we have these two stainless steel rims with a tightening point here. That way you can keep the structural integrity of this cold plunge. And Arman, let's get a close-up. On the inside, it is all stainless steel, so that's where you get your waterproof quality. And of course, your cold plunge filler. The same natural stone back wall is also here. This is a really cool amenity. What do you think, Arman?
I mean, it makes me scared because it's cold.
Well, yes. Cold plunges are never too fun, but once you get used to it, they're great. Great for your blood circulation. And when you think about it, you have your sauna here, so you get heated up, you come here, go into your cold plunge, get the circulation going, and to wrap up your day, you go back into your walk-in shower or your steam shower and off to your day. Now, this is not a really big space, but they packed all these amenities very efficiently and made good use out of the room. Now, we're not done with the entertainment ring. We have 2 more rooms to see. Now, the first one is the screening room here, but before we go in there, I want to take everybody to the powder room, which happens to have one of my favorite features, concrete vanity, and within the same vanity, we have the slope drain for your wall-mounted faucet with a concrete backsplash. Let me demonstrate. Very satisfying to watch. And then on the other side, we have the toilet with the same limestone back wall. Now, next up, the screening room, and off of this entry, we have this cozy bar area with a built-in fridge, sink, this cool backsplash design, open shelving. Now, let's go into the screening room. Dual elevation, 4 comfortable sofas, dark tones, and then on the ceiling, we have the same hemlock that we've been seeing throughout the home to create some dimension and to warm up the space. Of course, you have your built-in speakers, wall sconces, 4K laser projector to my right, and your massive screen to my left. A good sized screening room, and we still have so much more to see. Now I want to take a quick break from our tour and thank Odoo for sponsoring today's video. As many of you know, building and running a business is not easy. Between day-to-day operations, managing sales, accounting, websites, and everything else, it can be overwhelming. That's where Odoo comes in, which is an all-in-one solution to manage every facet of your business. Let's say I want to build a website. You can use Odoo's website builder that allows you to create a professional website in just a few clicks. Simply answer a few prompts about your business, pick a color palette, decide on what you want to focus on, select the theme, and customize it to fit your needs. It's that easy. You can see I created an events site for the movie premieres we've been hosting for our documentary style episodes, and it took just a few minutes. The best part, your first Odoo application is completely free for life. That includes unlimited hosting, support, and even a custom domain name for 1 year. So whether you're launching a new brand or upgrading your existing business, Odoo has you covered. Check out the link in the description to learn more about their incredible tools. And again, big thanks to Odoo for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to our tour. This is the reason why we're out here. This view, the surrounding landscape, and this breeze. I have to say, walking this property is a very exciting and liberating experience. And we're currently on the decomposed granite walkway that wraps around the property. And I want to show some of these areas, moments that you can enjoy within the home. Now over here, we have another seating area with this steel gazebo design above. And they have these boulders throughout different sections of the home. That way you can just sit down, take a moment, take in what's in front of you, and enjoy this incredible area. I mean, it is quite breathtaking when you look at the mountains, and the fact that you can see all the way to Ventura and the Pacific Ocean is quite astonishing. Now, to my left, you can see the glass enclosed section that goes into the primary bathroom, and then the walkway takes you all the way to the peninsula. But first, I want to focus on this side. We have a really nice fire pit here. Again, it is all about framing the view, creating different moments, sections for you to enjoy. And I feel like if I lived in this house, I would use this fire pit all the time because it is simply a few steps away from your primary bedroom. And next to that, of course, is the focal point of the backyard, which is this amazing 57 feet by 37 feet infinity and zero edge pool. And I'm gonna go into details here, but first, let me flow you this way so we can check out the covered patio that opens up to the great room. I feel like whoever lives in this home, they're gonna utilize this space a lot for the outdoors, the entertainment, and it offers many different amenities. Starting with the outdoor kitchen, a proper one where you have a massive island, the sink, built-in fridges, even a seating area. And then on the back, you have your gas grill, commercial vent above. And I like the fact that they wrap the vent with the same stucco just so it gives it a little bit more of a built-in feel and it just makes it look a little bit more substantial. Now, at the end of the outdoor kitchen, we have the outdoor shower here, which is always a nice touch. And there's also a bathroom here since we have the pool so close. Now, I want to show you the rest of the covered patio. And again, we've been seeing this hemlock ceiling design throughout. And the beauty of this wood is the fact that you can use it both indoors and outdoors. And when you add some recessed lights, built-in speakers, space heaters, and even 2 skylights, you just bring more life and warmth to the space. Now, we also have an outdoor dining area here. And then behind me is the seating area. But first, I want to bring everybody this way. I want to talk about some of the details within the motorized sliding glass doors. Number one, I like that they use the same porcelain from the interior on the exterior as well. So the transition is very seamless. And then after that, they conceal the tracks just so it's a little bit more minimalist. And if you look closely where each one of the tracks starts, they also have these little grills. Those are drains. Since this section is quite flat and covered, they've assumed rainwater or water in general won't come to this section. But if it ever does, they have the built-in drains to capture all that water to make sure it doesn't go into the interior. I just thought this was a nice, clever touch with a good utility. Now, on the other side, we have the seating area. Of course, when you have views like this, weather like this, you want to capitalize on it as much as possible. Comfortable seating, another oversized fireplace. We have both concrete hearth and mantle and a TV above and the limestone wall. Now, I want to keep Armand where he is because I'm just going to quickly turn the camera this way and showcase this view. This is also the reason why we're here. When you look at this pool, this promontory, the scenery, the mountains around us, it simply takes your breath away. You really don't need much of an entertainment, music, or really additional things to enhance your experience here. Walking out to this terrace, feeling this breeze, and looking at this view every single day is personally good enough for me. In fact, the sizing of the pool is pretty on point. Keep in mind, the lot itself is 20.75 acres, but we're really sitting on this promontory. It is important to scale your outdoor spaces and moments really well. And this pool being the focal point, it is just the right width and right length where it capitalizes on the views, but it still leaves you this promontory, this experience of being able to walk all the way to the edge. Now, on the other side, there's also a really nice deck with outdoor seating areas. And personally, I love that this pool is infinity edge and zero edge, making it really minimalist. And when it's a black bottom pool like this, it looks like a black mirror. I feel like you just see the reflection, and currently we have a little bit of wind, so the water is moving, but this morning, this pool looked like a glass, which was super cool. Then of course, you also have your attached jacuzzi as well that is raised. And on the other side, the pool is actually above ground, following the contour of the land. This view, this pool, this backyard, the outdoor experience is the reason why we're here. Now, I want to take everybody this way because we got to see the guest house. This guest house is actually quite spacious, and the interior design, the overall architecture follows the main estate. Seamless sliding glass doors open up to a really nice living room. And here, the guest house has its own limestone wall that creates this frame. And then we have the wooden ceiling transition to regular ceiling. Your seating area, there's also a proper kitchen here with an island, bar seating, gas stove, really cool glazed backsplash. I like the fact that they made this a proper guest house. In fact, around the corner, there's outdoor parking just for the guest house itself. That way, when you have guests here, they can have a little life and moment for themselves. Now, there are 2 bedrooms in this guest house. First one being this way, it features a really nice bathroom with a walk-in shower, and they turn that guest bedroom into an office. So I want to quickly go this way and show you the second one in person. It features a king-size bed, same oak hardwood floors. Again, sorry for repeating myself, but the property gets great natural light. We only have few recessed lights on, and it is super bright inside. And going this way, we have a very spacious bathroom. Travertine floors that are filled, and then you have your oak vanity with 2 sinks, marble countertops, wall sconces, and a spacious walk-in shower that utilizes the same travertine on the floors as well as the walls. And I mean, look at the view. How cool is that window frame? Now, let's jump back to the backyard. The other thing about this property that I want to point out is the fact that it is built by Nick Jones Construction. Now, I want to acknowledge them because when you are designing a massive home like this in a rural area, it's not an easy job. Getting materials here, getting labor here, and building a technical home like this with such scale takes years, commitment, and there's also a lot of technology in this home. So looking back, the end result is very rewarding. It's easy for us to walk around and point these details out, but knowing how much work it takes to build a home like this makes me really appreciate their work. Now, looking back to the home, it reminds me of this property that we shot in Calabasas a few years ago, one of our very viral episodes. And that home also had an above ground infinity edge pool with absolutely breathtaking views. And that was one of the reasons why that video did so well. And I feel like when we were looking at the photos of this property, when we were considering to shoot this home, it immediately reminded me of that home. And I have to say, I think the land and the views here are a tiny bit better. Now also, since we're looking back to the house again, I want to point out this steel column and this long steel beam that connects all the way to the limestone wall, creating the opening for the covered patio. I mean, that's a pretty big span, and you get these kind of spans by using heavy-duty steel beams and columns. Now, like we talked about earlier, there's also a deck here with outdoor seating, and going this way, I want to walk the grounds of this property a little bit more. I feel like if I lived here, this is what I would do every single day. Whether you're taking a phone call or simply want to clear your mind, a walkway like this comes in extremely handy. And when you're living in a space like this, it is important to utilize the outdoors as much as possible. While we're here, I also want to talk about the views that we're looking at. To my left, we have the Santa Monica Mountain Range. In fact, behind that is Malibu. Right in front of us is Ventura, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. To our right, we have Camarillo, and next to that is actually Thousand Oaks. The height of this lot is quite special, so you get this very broad perspective. And also at night, this view actually lights up pretty well because you have all the houses and the city landscape that's right in front of us, but then we have the darkness of the natural landscape, all these beautiful hilltops. And it's an experience to be here at night as well as the day. And I have to say, I'm so glad that we came all the way out here to shoot this home because only an hour away from Los Angeles, I personally didn't know that there was an experience like this that exists. And I think this property, the way it's situated, these view corridors, and all of its qualities coming together is a quite special experience. And on top of that, you're here in Hidden Valley. And I mean, this area has so much to offer. We've been talking about the outdoors and these views throughout the entire episode. So I figured what better way to walk into the primary bedroom, the bedroom suite of the house, straight from the outdoors and into the space. In fact, let's walk back a second so we can show you the volume of this entire room. And also we have a long hallway that takes you to this special room. Now, to my left, we have the king size bed. The vaulted ceiling here is great. We also have mood lighting throughout to add up to the ambiance. The same white oak hardwood floors are also here. And of course, your seamless transition to your patio, which then leads you to these amazing views. Now on the other side, we have the fireplace with a cozy seating area. And these chairs look like a big bomber jacket, like a fluffy bomber jacket that hugs you. I don't know, something about them. They look very cozy. And I tested them out. They're actually very comfortable. And then we have the fireplace here with a concrete hearth. So this was, I believe, poured and finished in place. And the same lava rock is also here. They actually didn't repeat the redid pattern. And this is a Samsung frame TV. So it can look like art, but it also functions as a TV as well. Now, going this way, the limestone again. I'm sorry for pointing it out in every single room, but let me take you to the bathroom. The first thing you see is the space, the volume, natural light coming in, and this glass wall, of course, facing these views. But before we go into the bathroom, I actually want to talk about the vanity here. This vanity is the same design that we saw by the powder room next to the screening room. And of course, we have the built-in drain. This is technically a makeup area because you have your main vanity on this side, and the same oak cabinetry is also here. We have the metal reveal detail, your 2 sinks with linear drains. The same limestone was also used as a backsplash, and the light fixtures that are attached to the mirror is actually very cool. The light is projected from the side of the panel and it just lights up the entire assembly, which is a very unique design element. I don't think I've seen this before, but I just really appreciate the natural light coming in and the minimalist tones here. Next up, freestanding tub, your tub filler. And now let's go into the walk-in shower. You can easily fit 15 to 20 people here. Not that I'm recommending you to do that, but it's a very big walk-in shower, and we have a vein matched travertine here. And here, like I talked about earlier, they left it unfilled. In fact, you can hear the texture, you can see the texture. It brings part of the earth into your space. We have the rain head above, shower heads, your controls are here, and we also have a towel heater around the corner. Very spacious walk-in shower. Now next up, we have the water closet to my left, and now going in, we have the walk-in closet. Now this is a really spacious room, and as you walk in, it looks a bit deceiving, but once you turn around the corner, you realize the length and the volume. And the fact that we have 2 skylights here certainly helps. And you combine that with oak hardwood floors, there is this rich wood tone throughout the entire space. And of course, you have your hangers, shoe racks, drawers. The same metal reveal detail is also here. And on the first section, they left it open, but here they placed an island. So that way you have a utility like this for different use cases, and skylights certainly help. And given that this home is almost 15,000 square feet, you do need a big walk-in closet like this. Now, we started the bedroom wing with the primary bedroom, but we got a couple more bedrooms to see and a really cool lounge. Let's check it out. Now, it's nice to have a long hallway like this that sets the tone for the bedrooms that we're gonna showcase. But before we get there, we actually have a couple details to cover. Number one, to my left, we have the door opening up to a very, very spacious laundry room with 2 washers and 2 dryers and a ton of storage space. And that also leads to your main 4-car garage that is attached to the home. Now to my right, we have the built-ins here, a little section for all your art with mood lighting and recessed lighting. This is a place where you can showcase your family photos. You can do a lot with this section. Now, moving on, the bedroom suites get a little living room / entertainment area, and it's a fun space, especially if you have kids, if you're a family. I feel like you can get a lot of use out of this space. To my right, we have the seating area with this really cool couch, a travertine coffee table that's very unique. I bet it was very difficult to fabricate that. And then over here, we have a game table. This is cool, Magic and Bird, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, 2 icons in the game of basketball, and it's a really cool poster. And then to my right, we have a ping pong table. As a team, we love ping pong, and this is actually a very unique table. It's almost like a mid-century modern ping pong table with this solid wood surface and a metal net. Now, on this wing, in total, we have 3 bedroom suites. This hallway to my left takes you to the junior primary bedroom, where the room itself gets great views. And these 3 bedrooms that we're gonna showcase now, this being one of them, are not furnished, they're not staged, but they're definitely good sized room. They all get great natural light, just like the rest of the home. And in fact, the other 2 are located on this hallway, and these 2 bedrooms also come with their own bathrooms. Now, I wanna talk about 2 more things here. Number one, the volume and the ceiling height here, and these small picture windows bring in natural light. This home, for the most part, features a flat roof design, but throughout the home we have sections that are vaulted or raised, and those sections feature tile roof design. So throughout the home you can see these different sections as you look at it from the drone angle. That's how they accomplish this high roof design while keeping the remaining part of the home with the flat roof. The second detail I want to talk about here is this cool patio space. You open up the sliding glass doors, you walk out to this outdoor space, And the steel roof design here is actually very cool. We have this long beam running on each side of the wall, gaining support, and the entire steel structure is floating up in the air, providing shade to this seating area. And then you can also see this crushed granite walkway that ties back to the main walkway that surrounds the entire property. I mean, it's really cool, and what a day it has been touring this home, enjoying the views, the outdoors, the interior spaces, and there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is to see this property at dusk. All right, everyone, that's it for the tour. What a day it has been touring this incredible property. No city noise, no traffic, just pure tranquility. It's been a treat for both me and the team, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. Now, I want to give big thanks to the listing agents, Nicki Laporta and Karen Crystal, for making this tour possible. And as always, you can find more information about this property in the description of this video, so make sure to check it out. Now, lastly, if you enjoyed our tour, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.